All right, moving on, the Colonial Republic de Cameroon's government is bent on destroying the custom and traditions of the people of southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. The culture of the people of the southern Cameroons is the only institution with still some originalities after the Colonial Republic de Cameroon's government destroyed other institutions like education. Not only have the BS reduced the custodians of the tradition of the Amazonian people to mere auxiliaries to his colonial administration, he now wants to be their one to decide on becoming a fawn, hijacking the position of kingmakers.
Well, the Colonial Senior Divisional Officer for Menchum has, in a release, called on those aspiring to mount the throne as the new Fon of Esu to drop their applications at his office. Is this not something really weird for the kingmaker to be decided by the presidential seat? The Colonial SDO was the one now launching a recruit to fit a traditional vacant position. This is indeed a slap to the faces of the kingmakers.
Kingmakers of Esu, a locality in Menchum County, are still recovering from the arrows they released of the colonial SDO of Menchum, who has been shot on their institution. The colonial senior divisional officer for Menchum, Abdullahi Alio, has called on all those eligible to be the next Fon officer to drop their applications in his office for scrutiny. This was the object of a release signed by Abdullahi Aliu, the colonial senior divisional officer for Menchum.
Well, Abdullah Aliyu called on the kingmakers and notables of Esu village for a sense of a responsibility to facilitate the process of putting a new chief heat-free. He therefore informs prospective candidates to the throne of Esu to file their candidacy in his office for the arrangement of consultative talks at the palace of Esu, which he shall personally preside over. On March 9th, after he called for this meeting in 2022, Fonkum Acho, the second of Esu, was attacked and killed alongside his first wife by unknown gunmen. The throne had since then remained vacant. Demands by villagers for an investigation to bring perpetrators to book have yielded no fruit as always.
While some villagers say no one shall occupy the throne until the Colonial Republic of Cameroon's government shield the light of the circumstances leading to the murder of the late monarch. Here is a reaction Elangui Joseph gave to the release of the Colonial SDO for Menchum County in what he titles Menchum Colonial and Genocidal Administrator ignores the role of the kingmakers and calls on all interested candidates to apply for the post of the Fon of Esu village. Well, in that he writes, how many times his comrade warned Amazonians that if we don't fight for an independent homeland for our children, colonial and genocidal French Cameroon will destroy our culture, dethrone even our village chiefs and fonts and appoint their own, including their own francophones.
Well, he goes on to write, here is the Colonial SDO for Menchum County requesting applications from any interested persons to apply for the position of the Fon of Esu village, ignoring the traditions of the people that overpowers and that empowers the village kingmakers. Consult with the ancestors by performing some traditional rite, then proceed to choose a new font for the village and present to the people and later to the colonial administration. He says this is kind of enslavement under colonial and genocidal French Cameroon that brainwashed and enslaved Anglophile enablers, traitors, and the Canadian sellouts want our people to be subjected to in their own homeland, he writes.